In this presentation, you will learn about development as viewed from Indian cultural perspective. Development, unlike West, is not just connected with accumulation of material objects, but also sharing the earned wealth through donations, good deeds, and this is believed to be passed on from one generation to another. We also cannot ignore certain practices of our culture, like the caste system, which creates unequal development practices like untouchability, which is unjust. Even today, one can read a newspaper and find crimes on the basis of caste. These practices are also a part of our society that we cannot ignore. These practices lead to an unequal and lopsided society. Social reformers on empowering weaker sections. Several social reformers have discussed about development directly and indirectly. Some worked to improve the situation of women, ban child marriage, improve the status of women through banning of sati system, etc. The father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji, said that when a woman is able to walk freely on a road, even at night, without fearing, that is the day when we could say that we have modernized or developed. These lines show the concept of holistic development upon which Gandhiji believed in. It also shows that improving the status of women is very important to consider oneself as a developed country. Reformers have also discussed on improving the village economy, cottage-based industries, handicraft-based industries, etc. In other words, growth is not just economics but a way of life which is equal, healthy, and just. Special emphasis was laid on the educational development of the masses as major population was away from educational facilitation and was deliberately kept away from the facilities which would contribute to their success. Mahatma Phule, Savitri Bhai Phule, Rajashri Sahu Maharaj, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and many others tirelessly fought for the rights of the depressed classes for the overall development of the nation. Case study of Bhutan. Gross National Happiness Index or GNI. The uniqueness of Bhutan is that they do not rate the growth or development through that of GDP. They have their own data which is derived locally and which suits their own culture and tradition. It is based upon the value system on which Bhutanese people believe in, that is leading a happy, healthy and peaceful life. The term Gross National Happiness Index was first given by the fourth king of Bhutan, King Jigme, in the year 1972. He pointed out that the Gross National Index was more important than that of Gross Domestic Product. GHP tried to have an approach where there is a balance in economics, human well-being and growth. This was useful for different sectors like government policies, NGOs and even business. The GNH tool is measured through the 9 major areas like psychological well-being in a given population, health especially among women, children, aged, etc. Education is seen as very important. Time, retaining the cultural diversity and resilience of the population, having good governance, developing a community which has a vital role, retaining the ecological diversity, improving the standard of living. There are in total 33 indicators within these 9 domains. It also draws people into 4 groups like unhappy, narrowly happy, extensively happy and deeply happy. The policies here also try to understand as to how they could develop self-sufficiency. In other words, through GHP, collective happiness of Bhutan is measured and then the policies are formulated accordingly. Historical journey of development. During the early 1950s and 60s, development was largely viewed with reference to the quantitative instead of qualitative change in the country. The theories were also designed with this aspect taken into consideration. It cannot be denied that these theories are aimed at creating a pattern in which a direction or benchmark is given to the developing countries to imitate the West developed countries model. Industrialization was seen as the focus than developing the existing primary sector based agriculture. Some scholars like Rabi point out that development cannot be effective if the cultural roots or context is not taken into consideration. One has to look into factors like people's way of life, etc., before bringing any form of changes in the programs or implementing any. Hence, the concept of development has evolved with time. There are now different types of developments discussed apart from the traditional economic development. There is gender development, sustainable development, human development, taken as important pointers while making policies. Millennium Development Goals. The United Nations Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, are 8 goals that UN member states agreed to achieve by the year 2015. Different world leaders had signed the United Nations Millennium Declaration on September 2000. It is a set of goals that are aimed at improving the conditions in terms of combating poverty, hunger, disease, illiteracy, environmental degradation, and discrimination against women. Each Millennium Development Goal has set targets for 2015, and there are also indicators used which have been monitoring progress from 1990 levels. The Millennium Development Goals have now been superseded by the Sustainable Development Goals. MDG goals: eradicating extreme poverty and hunger, achieve universal primary education, promote gender equality and empower women, reduce child mortality, improve maternal health, combat HIV, AIDS, malaria, and other diseases, ensure environmental sustainability, develop a global partnership for development. Some of the targets listed have also been partially achieved now, and some are still in progress. Thank you for watching the presentation. Do like, share, subscribe, and leave your comments about this presentation or any other topic you would like to learn more about.